My view right now is that you're probably going to get earnings per share in the high single digits, maybe low double digits in the next 12 months. You're going to get lower risk-free rates, and equity risk premium will be broadly unchanged, which means the market is not going to continue powering on at the current pace, but there is absolutely no reason to see derating.
Yeah, it seems like the consensus is now moving towards 6,000 for the S&P 500, but beyond that, the road seems a bit uncertain. I do want to get your thoughts in between equities and bonds and short duration bonds versus long duration bonds. Where would you park that extra $100?
Well, I think increasing duration is probably the right thing to do as interest rates fall. But in terms of equities versus bonds, I actually think that 60-40 portfolios for the first time in quite a long period of time now, or more than 2 years, actually is going to work. So in other words, you're going to make money in equities and the bonds will be on the opposite side. So the correlation will be negative between the two. So I do think 60-40 portfolio will work. I do think equities have some upside, but nothing dramatic as we discussed. And probably longer duration bonds is the right place to go.
Right. I also do want to get your sense in on the dollar, the USD, and the expectation. Yesterday we had a guest telling us that a Harris presidency would be dollar negative and a Trump presidency would be dollar positive. Can it be as simple as that?
No, it never is. And that's why those trades never work in my experience. Harris trade, Trump trade, Biden trade, Trump trade, all of those trades, they never really work. And the reason they never really work is that the electorate in the United States, while it is divided, significantly divided, it nevertheless forcing extremes to sort of eject the worst ideas, the worst policies. So if you think of Republican Party, they are distancing themselves considerably from Project 2025. They're no longer discussing reproductive rights. They're not talking about health care. Democrats, on the other hand, are all for oil and fracking. And the Democrats also are all for border security now. So in other words, when the electorate is displeased but not mad enough to burn down the house, what you end up is both parties actually end up somewhere in the middle. And that is why those sorts of policies don't really work, or those baskets, I should say, don't really work. So I'm not a great buyer that if Trump wins, so you always have to go into the oil, you always have to go into natural extraction industries, etc. If Harris wins, you go somewhere else. I just don't believe it's true.